Hey all, my name is Angelica Rubio, State Representative for District 35, representing the City of Las Cruces, and this is a legislative update. How you all doing? Hanging in there? Yeah, it's been a few days, right? I just wanted to check in, see how folks were holding up. I'm in Santa Fe. Today is what is today? Today's Wednesday, February 5th, and we are about 15 days in the legislative session, and it's been going really, really fast in a very slow way, if that makes sense. And I think part of it is with everything that's happening at the federal level and now national level because of the last 24 hours, if you all have been paying attention to what's happening. With that said, I've been trying to really just concentrate on the things that I can control, which are here in the legislature, and trying not to get too overwhelmed with what's happening federally. But as you all probably are noticing, it's likely very, very hard for you. And so like you, I too am struggling as well. But I think what's been really, really helping me out, and we've been talking a lot about this over the course of the last couple weeks, is of course just finding your people, and I think that's really what's been really holding me down here in Santa Fe is just staying connected to like people who are in alignment with my own values, the folks that the advocates, folks who are keeping me grounded. I think that's what's really, really important for all of us right now. And so I hope that you're doing that for yourself and taking care of yourself. I still would hope and encourage that you all reach out to your congressional representatives over the course of the last 24 to 48 hours. I've been seeing and hearing a lot from our delegation around some of the things that they're working to sort of oppose this whole fascist regime and what many of us are calling like a straight up coup from the administration and from people who have not been elected. And so that's encouraging. While at the same time, I think a lot of us are just really, really frustrated too, because we feel like Congress needs to be much more strong in terms of their messaging and their positioning around some of this, especially when it comes to like confirmation hearings. There's still Democrats that are voting to confirm folks, and that's just really, really frustrating. But in terms of what I can actually control, I will give you all an update. So we're 15 days into the session, and I think one of the things that as we navigate what's happening at the federal level and then what we're doing here on the statewide level is a number of things. I'm happy to report that there's two of my main bills, the bills that I'm really, really excited about, were filed this week. That means that they were read into the record. They've been assigned a number, and they have also been assigned to a committee. So they should be in committee very, very soon. The first bill I'm working on is with Representative Andrea Romero from Santa Fe. Her and I are working on a bill that came out of a housing cohort that several of us in the House of Representatives have been on to address the housing crisis here in New Mexico. One of the things that we feel is very, very necessary, which has prevented people from finding housing, is that for whatever reason, many people get evicted from their rental spaces, and when you get evicted, it stays on your record, and so it makes it impossible for you to find another space. And so what we're doing is we've proposed a bill that will essentially keep these eviction records sealed. And hopefully you all can tune in on some of the debates in committee, but that is one of the first bill that we're working on, is to make these evictions that they'll be sealed in order to keep preventing people from finding a home. The second bill that I'm working on that was filed today, and it'll probably get a number tomorrow and assigned to committee tomorrow, and that is we're trying to end discrimination on source of income when you go to rent. As you all probably know, we have a lot of people who receive Section 8 housing vouchers, for example, who are veterans and receive veterans aid, and so they have vouchers for housing. There's a lot of landlords that actually don't accept that. They don't like the way that the process works, and so a lot of times they deny people opportunities for housing because they're either on Section 8, they receive a Section 8 voucher, they're a veteran who receives a voucher. There's all these multitudes of ways in which people have ways to pay for their housing, and a lot of landlords essentially discriminate and say, no, I'm not gonna allow you to live here. My bill will make that discrimination illegal. Like you won't be able to do that anymore. And so I'm hoping that legislation will go through as well. This morning, SJR 1, which is the constitutional amendment that would, if it passes the Senate and then the House, it will go to voters in a couple years to make it so that legislators like myself will no longer be volunteer. We will finally have a commission that can say, we're hoping this commission will say that legislators can finally receive a salary. As you all know, hopefully is that New Mexico, people like myself do this work for free. We're volunteers. So I'm up here in Santa Fe while I'm working, doing this as a volunteer. We're the only one left in the state that does this. We're trying to change that. The reason I want to change it specifically isn't necessarily just because I believe people deserve a dignified wage, but it's mostly because we want to make it so that everyone has an opportunity to serve, not just people who have like a lot of money and a lot of influence. That bill, SJR 1, passed its first committee in the Senate this morning. We actually picked up 2 votes from Republicans, which I'm completely surprised by. And so, and I think it's really, really good momentum. It's going to now go to Senate Finance, which is going to be a very, very, very heavy lift, because Senate Finance is an incredibly conservative committee. But I'm hoping that we can get the votes in that committee, and then eventually it will go to the Senate floor for a bigger vote from all the senators, 42 senators, and then it then goes to the House where I serve, and we've passed it out of the House several times, so I have some really, really high hopes for that. Other than that, y'all, it's just been go and go and go. We're hearing some more bills in committees around climate, some bad bills that are not very good for the climate. Listening to a lot of bills around crime that are not good, especially for somebody like me who doesn't believe in, I don't believe in locking people up all the time for things that, those are the kind of bills that we're being forced to hear. So it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot in terms of what we're experiencing at the federal level. And so I'm hoping that we just find the time to take a breath, be in community with folks, and like you and I find your people, stay close to them, protect each other, and just keep at it. This is going to be a long road ahead. So with that, I'll update you all soon. Peace out. Take care. Talk soon.